While we were on vacation, Michael Rosenberg of Sports Illustrated, senior writer, profiled Trevor Lawrence, the unrivaled arrival of Trevor Lawrence. And all of a sudden, there were some quotes pulled from that, questioning how much he loved football and awards and all of that while Trevor Lawrence was getting married this weekend. So Michael Rosenberg, kind enough to join us. Michael, preconceived feelings, ideas, notions about Trevor Lawrence were what going into that profile?
Basically, just that he was really good at football. I was looking and there were bits and pieces, but yeah, he's still so young. I didn't feel like I really knew him. And at some point in the course of reporting, and I don't even remember where it started, I started to get this sense that he was just kind of wired a little different. And it was one of the first questions I asked him. And he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have that chip on my shoulder. And having been around the NFL for a long time, I walked out of there going, is this guy really going to be the first pick? But yeah, that's just who he is.
And I brought this up to Louis Riddick last hour. I said, it's not a coincidence. There are quarterbacks who love having that chip on their shoulder, that they'll carry it with them their entire careers. The last quarterback I remember who didn't have a chip on his shoulder felt like it was Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck checked out at age 29, decided he was not going to play anymore. So I don't know if there's a there, but I do think that it caught my attention that he said it. You might think it, but it's another thing to say it, Michael.
It is. And I kind of went through it with Trevor. I was like, because I said, people are going to take this the wrong way. And he said, yeah, I know.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought that sense, he knew that would, I don't know if he knew the level of it.
So you warned him in the moment.
I did. And after I just said, this is what it is. And yeah, and it's in the story. Like he knows this is going to be twisted because I think that says something about him too, that kind of reinforces how he is, that he knew that there would be some blowback and he wasn't worried about that either. He's not trying to shape the image. He's pretty comfortable with who he is. So I found that very endearing. What that means for him in the long term, I guess we'll see.
How much time did you spend with him?
I had about an hour plus the photo shoot and video shoot, and then a few questions afterward.
Anything stand out aside from those quotes?
I think what I took away from it as much as anything was he's very smart. He's very comfortable with himself, and he's very comfortable questioning things. He has such sort of a simple image of this guy who was just number one recruit, number one pick, marrying his high school girlfriend, very religious. And he's a lot deeper and more thoughtful and more inquisitive, I think, than maybe has been out there. And between he and Marissa, the dynamic there, you really got the sense these are kind of two equal partners. It's not just the quarterback and his pretty high school girlfriend. I mean, these are life partners. So there's a lot of depth there. It's kind of funny to me that this is all blown up because I feel like anybody questioning him right now, if they spent 10 minutes with him, would walk away and be like, what a great guy. I'd love to have that guy on my team. So I don't think the Jaguars should be all that concerned, but that was just my take.
But you know how it works, though, Michael. This, time of the year leading up to the draft, he's been spotless. I mean, nobody's critiqued him. We just sort of said, well, that's Trevor Lawrence. He's in a different category. Now you can bring Trevor Lawrence back into mainstream, sports world. And I think it was the timing of it more than anything else. But also what stood out to me was when you talked about him getting married at such a young age, and that there were probably people who were critical of that going into this profession.
Yeah, and he said that too. He's like, people say, people say, what are you doing getting married? I'm like, they just come up and say that to you. And he's like, yeah, he kind of can't believe it himself. It's pretty rude, but he's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to wait. I know who I want to marry and I'm going to get married. So there is a confidence there that's not, it's not brash. It's not that Johnny Manziel thing. It's not the Baker Mayfield, I woke up feeling dangerous. It's just, and he knows how good he is too,
Did you interview Manziel?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I have never interviewed Johnny Manziel. I was waiting for him to reach his second year as a starter, and we never got there. So.
It's weird how if you said, hey, your daughter is bringing home this person, not this is what he does for a living, this person, he would probably check all the boxes here. But it feels like in today's world, we're like, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical here.
Yeah, well, it's true. And if you think of all the reasons guys fail, marrying young and wanting to be with that person is not usually very high on the list. So it is different. But I guess my takeaway from it, like this, is there a danger that he gets beaten up and retires like Andrew Luck did early? Sure. Would the Colts, do they regret taking a phenomenal quarterback? No. I mean, I think there's risk with every single guy in the draft. I think Trevor Lawrence's risk is different from most, but still smaller than just about everybody else.
Have you followed up with him since the quote-unquote controversy?
I have not. I mean, he did get married. I will do that with the family this week. And nobody has said anything negative about the story. Even when he tweeted this weekend, it was some people are misreading my comments. He had initially, for whatever it's worth, shared the story on social media before it blew up. So I don't know what they think. I can't speak for them.
Are we taking anything out of context?
I'm sure you're not, Dan, but I think I mean a little bit. I've seen the pull quotes of, he doesn't need the Super Bowl to be happy. And of course people jump on that. If you read the story, it's different. I mean, there's never been a question about this guy's work ethic, and this is, I guess, the best way I could sum it up. He doesn't when he loses a game, it doesn't keep him up at night, but wanting to win does get him up in the morning. So that's different. I mean, that's different from Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and all these guys. But as long as he gets up in the morning wanting to win those games and wanting to go to the facility and wanting to watch film and wanting to play through injuries and everything that's required of an NFL quarterback, as long as he does that, who really cares if he goes home and starts smashing things when he loses the game?
You're forever intertwined with Trevor Lawrence because these quotes, good or bad, are going to stand out 10 years from now when I have you on and go, Michael, can you believe we made a big deal over this? Or, hey, Michael, we were on to something.
I might be forever intertwined with him, but I don't think he's ever intertwined with me.
Great job, Michael. Great to talk to you again, and thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
That's Michael Rosenberg, Sports Illustrated senior writer.